All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and I definitely had to check this one out right here because Candace is going to reveal who she is endorsing for president in 2024. I definitely had to check this out. You know how Candace is with the title. She ain't gonna never tell you who it is. You got to watch the video. So we are definitely going to check it out. And another thing, salute to Vivek for going off on Christian Welker last night. Oh my God. Vivek cut up last night. We all enjoyed what he did, his opening statements. Everybody feel like his opening statements won the whole thing. Vivek didn't have to say nothing else the whole night. He won off his opening statement. Straight went at the moderators and said that he felt like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk should be there. Tucker Carlson, they should have been the one being the moderators and stuff, asking the questions and stuff like that. So Vivek was not playing last night. Salute to him. And we definitely finna dive straight into this. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. And I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. And like I said, everybody let me know who all stayed to the very end. That way YouTube can share this video. So I appreciate everybody that always watches the video all the way to the end. And y'all always let me know in the comment section that you did stay to the end. I really, really appreciate it. And make sure you hit that like button as well. Like I said, that way the video can get shared out. But I definitely want to check this out to see what Candace Owens got to say about this. Let's go.
All right, the third GOP debate took place last night in Florida. If you did not have time to watch it, don't worry, I'm going to run you through it, really just the highlights of it, which, if you were on Twitter, the only individual that was trending was Vivek Ramaswamy, and people very much declared him to be the winner, despite the establishment media trying to convince you otherwise. Obviously, Vivek Ramaswamy was the clear winner, and honestly, he won with just his opening.
Exactly.
Take a listen.
And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. Do you think the Democrats, and we've got Christian Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate?
No.
They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Christian, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Woo.
Mr. Roberts. This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor.
Absolutely savage to yield your time to the filthy media establishment that's hosting the debate. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. He was a sharpshooter. He's been a sharpshooter, but he was in even more rare form last night as he took on every single target. And he also just seemed friendly. His demeanor, he seemed more confident. I guess this is the third time on the stage. And really, you can see that Vivek Ramaswamy is looking toward the future. We are just seeing the beginning of his career. Now, obviously, standing beside him were a bunch of neocons. We've been talking about this over and over again. They are obsessed with war, the warmongering, trying to plead with everybody to understand that we need to be in Ukraine. And now all of a sudden they flipped and it's all about Israel. And why can't Americans understand that our concerns lie overseas and overseas only while we have a porous border, while individuals are struggling to be able to feed their families? Shame on you if you ask a question. How selfish could you be? How racist could you be? How much of a pro-Putin puppet could you be? Well, Vivek Ramaswamy took the argument to one of the neocons, Nikki Haley. Honestly, she became completely unraveled. I will say Ron DeSantis did perform well last night.
He did.
But he had shots for all of them. Here he is talking about, well, pretty much them all being neocon warmongers. Take a listen.
Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got a $5 million bribe from Ukraine. That's why we're sending $200 billion back to that same country. The fact of the matter is the Republican Party is not that much better. You have the likes of Nikki Haley, who stepped down from her time at the UN. Bankrupt or in debt was her family. Then she becomes a military contractor. She joins the board of Boeing and otherwise, and is now a multimillionaire. So I think that that's wrong when Republicans do it or Democrats do it. That's the choice we face. Do you want a leader from a different generation who's going to put this country first? or do you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels?
Whoa.
In which case we've got two of them on stage.
Whoa.
Absolutely savage. That I think was probably the most viral moment from last night. And Nikki really did become undone, I will tell you, throughout this, because he's correct. Everybody knows that Nikki Haley was more than $1 million in debt until she started wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. And now all of a sudden she's a multimillionaire and she can't stop shrieking about how we should get involved in overseas wars. We should all be asking the question, how did Nikki Haley become a multimillionaire after being $1 million in debt after she left her position as the UN ambassador? It's a big question.
It is.
And we obviously all know the answer. People go to D.C. to sell out the American people. They go to D.C. because special interest groups and lobby groups will give them money and will give them millions to parrot talking points. It is always America last, right? It is about everybody else except for the people at home that are doing the things that they're supposed to be doing, waking up in the morning, going to work every day, and having their taxes just disappear, all of their income only for it to reappear over in Ukraine. And the oligarchs are now buying property in Switzerland, and they're pretending they don't understand what's happening to all the money. There's no accounting. Let you not pay $5 when it comes to your taxes, and they will be on you because we need to hire more IRS agents. The government needs to be bigger. We need to make sure that we can extract every single penny from you, the American people. But overseas, no, we don't know. It's a black hole. It's a black budget. We can't explain why it is that suddenly Ukraine was the most urgent issue in the entire world, and now suddenly don't pay attention because Israel has become the most important issue in the world. Almost one moment, Nikki really, really, really became quite hysterical, because Vivek pointed to obvious discrepancies in the way that she is parroting talking points publicly about how she's going to be tough on China, she's going to be tough on TikTok, and yet TikTok, her private life and her record doesn't reflect that same toughness. Take a listen.
You campaign on TikTok. How do you get TikTok banned if you use it?
Well, I want to laugh at why Nikki Haley didn't answer your question, which is about looking at families in the eye. In the last debate, she made fun of me for actually joining TikTok while her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. So you might want to take care of your family first.
Leave my daughter out of your voice.
Your adult daughter. The next generation of Americans are using it. And that's actually the point. You have her supporters propping her up. That's fine. Here's the truth.
You're just
the easy answer is actually to say that we're just going to ban one app. We got to go further. We have to ban any U.S. company actually transferring U.S. data to the Chinese. Here's a story most people don't know. Airbnb hands over U.S. user data to the CCP. Now, that's a U.S.-owned company. So this is the problem when you have Republicans that temporarily go the way the winds blow, and now it's popular to talk tough on China. When she was UN ambassador, called them literally, her words, not mine, our great friend. You can't be fair weather fans of the right policy. Get to the root cause. Even U.S. companies in Silicon Valley are regularly doing it. Cut the virtue signaling. The fact of the matter is Democrats are on TikTok today. The only person, one of the few people who is putting up content the way the actual algorithms work, speaking for pro-Israel views or others, is
Ambassador
me.
Haley,
more Republicans will join it. But stop U.S. companies from turning over data to Chinese companies.
So she's rolling her eyes and she's called him scum. That's her comeback to his statements, which are pointedly true about how she's flip-flopped on China and about how her daughter is on TikTok while she's claiming that TikTok is an enemy of the American people. Well, I mean, I agree with that statement, by the way. I think TikTok is awful. I always tell you to stay off of it. I am not on TikTok for a reason. I think it's a social media app that is selling our data overseas. It's abundantly, I mean, not selling our data overseas. It is a Chinese TikTok app, period.
And like I said, I can agree with that about TikTok, but at the same time, I watched this interview last night and I seen that CNN, I guess they interviewed Vivek, and she was asking about, why did you go after her daughter? He I'm like, come on, this is what his victim stuff like. He didn't say anything bad about her daughter. He just saying, if you're going to say, get on to me because you're going to say something to me about me joining TikTok, but yet your daughter been using TikTok the whole time, how's you going to say something to me if you ain't saying nothing to your own daughter? That's the only thing Vivek was making his point. They tried to make it seem like he just attacked her daughter. He didn't. He didn't say anything bad about her. This right here, and then you see she call him a scum. She rolling her eyes, and then he like, where's your W-2? We need to see that. How was you just $1 million in debt when you stepped down, and now all of a sudden you just a multimillionaire? We want to know, how did you become a millionaire? What did you do? So that right there is the problem that's going on right now. Like, come on. like just constantly just rolling her eyes the whole time Vivek was talking. If you look at it, if y'all watched it last night, that's the reason why I said this yesterday. Vivek was cooking all night. He didn't hold back. When it was his turn to speak, he spoke the truth. And like Candace said, another point, I think Ron DeSantis, he did make some little valid points here and there last night. But for the most part, Vivek was not playing around. He was the one that went viral, especially with that opening statement. And the first thing they love to say is, well, Vivek, what you going to do to try to get Trump out of office? What you think? They always trying to throw something at her, but see, I love the way Vivek flipped it and just went straight at Christian. And all things she can do is just grin. Just grin. Because she had nothing to say. Come on, man. Boy, the woke left.
Our data is being given to the Chinese. So on a principle alone, it is a bit odd that her daughter is on TikTok.
Exactly.
And you would think that her daughter was 8 years old, and I would go, oh, that's a mama bear reaction. No, her daughter's a 25-year-old pediatric nurse. So there's absolutely no reason for Nikki Haley to act like this blow was just so low.
Yeah.
You are trying to be the president of the United States. People that are going to examine your family comes with the territory. In fact, her daughter was sitting front row as this exchange went on. So it's not exactly like her daughter's trying to retain some level of privacy here. By the way, look around you. Look at what's happened to Trump. Look at what's happened to his entire family from the moment that
Exactly. I was just finna make that point where Nikki Haley was trying to talk about, keep my daughter's name out your voice. Like, come on, Nikki. He didn't say anything bad about her. He was just showing your hypocrisy about you mad at him for joining TikTok when your daughter been on TikTok the whole entire time. That's where he was pointing out. And like Candace said, people are going to start to go after your family, especially when you're trying to become the president. Just like she said, look what Trump going through with this New York civil law fraud case. They trying to go after his family, his daughter, his son. It's happening. So, trying to make it seem like there was a low blow, it wasn't a low blow because he didn't say anything bad about her daughter. Anything bad. He was just pointing out your hypocrisy.
He announced that he was running for president of the United States back in 2015. They have been under steep examination. In fact, Ivanka Trump had to testify yesterday because they are still enduring a never-ending witch hunt because of who their father is and how much power in D.C. hates the fact that so many of the American people stand behind Donald Trump, right? Mm-hmm. And he's never cried about that. He's dealt with that. His children never cried about that. They have dealt with that with a tremendous amount of grace. So if Nikki Haley can't handle one true comment about her 25-year-old daughter being on TikTok, then she is not equipped emotionally to handle the position of president of the United States.
Sure don't.
Now, I want to keep on Nikki Haley because I thought this was fascinating last night. I was just examining her Twitter feed in order, by the way. I'm not looking for tweets and trying to present a story that isn't there. These are actually her last tweets over the last 15 hours in order, okay? As an agenda for the American people. Number 1, finish Hamas. Number 2, support Israel with whatever they need. Number 3, bring our hostages home. Okay. Followed by a tweet, there would be no Hamas without Iran. It is not that Israel needs America. America needs Israel. Something that she said on stage during the first set of debates. She wants to remind you that we need Israel. We are not a sovereign nation. We need another nation.
We need another nation.
She then tweets, this isn't some political theory class at Harvard. She's regarding protesters. My husband is serving overseas right now. Military families know the meaning of sacrifice. A strong America doesn't start wars. It prevents wars. Okay, we get it. You want us involved with Israel. Mm-hmm. Then she is just retweeting commentary from the Bastion Institute. It reads, we need to be very clear-eyed to know there would be no Hamas without Iran. There would be no Hezbollah without Iran. There would not be the Houthis without Iran. And there wouldn't be the Iranian militias in Syria and Iraq that are trying to get here, hit our military men and women. That's a quote from Nikki Haley. Second retweet is from Team Haley, and it says, Nikki Haley's long record of supporting Israel speaks for itself. Okay, we've got it. She goes on to say, Vivek, I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition. That's a response to Vivek saying that if you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels, then elect Nikki Haley or DeSantis. So her response is that her heels are for ammunition. I guess she's just such a warmonger that she's now thinking that that's some sly comeback. Nobody knows what the hell it means. If you know what the hell it means.
I was just finna say that. I'm like, what do that mean? I'm sitting here thinking myself because I figured Candace probably would have knew, but if she's saying she don't know, I know good well I don't know. Because I'm like, what does that mean? Let me take that back right quick. Hold on. Vivek, I wear heels. They're not for a fashion statement. They're for ammunition. Like, what you mean ammunition? You talking about using them to kick somebody? Or like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know what that statement means. But it seemed like that tweet got 6.8 million views. But I do not know what that means. If any of y'all in the comment section know what that means, please let me know. I do not know what she mean right there.
For a fashion statement, they're for ammunition. That's a response to Vivek saying that if you want Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels, then, elect Nikki Haley or DeSantis. So her response is that her heels are for ammunition. I guess she's just such a warmonger that she's now thinking that that's some sly comeback. Nobody knows what the hell it means. If you know what the hell it means, please drop the answer in the comments because I don't know what ammunition heels are. I'm a woman, I wear heels. I cannot tell you how she thought that was a clever comeback or why she thought to tweet it. We're all confused about what that means. She then tweeted, if the KKK were doing this, every college president would be up in arms. Anti-Semitism is no different. It's just as bad as racism. Again, that is a pro-Israel tweet. She then tweeted to every protester who supports Hamas, let me tell you, Hamas wants to kill you too. She then tweeted, Xi Jinping and Putin are salivating over everything Vivek is saying on this debate stage. Vivek wants to cede Ukrainian territory to Russia, end sanctions on Russia, and remove America's military presence from Eastern Europe. The only winners in that plan are Russia, China, and Iran. So the point is clear. She wants to keep fighting wars overseas because she sees it as our place. I just think it's stunning that every single tweet in that order is about what Nikki Haley wants to complete, wants America to complete overseas. Mm-hmm. And so I have seen enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I am ready to make an endorsement. And of course, it's so obvious. It's in my face. I can't be scared to do this. I know that when you make endorsements, sometimes you lose fans. They go, how could you? Why aren't you standing with this person? Why aren't you backing this individual? You've changed, Candace. Well, I am here today to endorse Nikki Haley for president of Israel. I think she's earned that.
Oh, man. She said she here to endorse Nikki Haley for president of Israel because all Nikki Haley talking points is just basically about wars. It's about Israel. It's about everything. It's just all about war. That was all her talking points was about. Man, let's take that back and hear Candace again.
Candace, well, I am here today to endorse Nikki Haley for president of Israel. I think she's earned that. I think Bibi Netanyahu is going through a very bad time right now. Support for Israel has virtually collapsed socially. If you're paying attention to the trends and you're paying attention to what people are watching, you're paying attention to the protests. And the one person that I think is capable of getting it back is Nikki Haley with enough money from foreign interest lobbies. So there it is, guys. I'm endorsing Nikki Haley, president of Israel. Moving on.
Wow, shout out to Candace. There y'all go. She endorsing Nikki Haley for president of Israel, not for the United States of America. There we go. That's great news right there. But like I said, shout out to Vivek for doing his thing. We finally got Candace's answer because she didn't put it in the title. She just got my endorsement for president is. So you definitely got to check it out to see what she was going to say. But ending it like that is fire from Candace. Shout out to her. Y'all know I always say she's like one of the ones that don't hold back. She lets you know exactly what it is. And I was waiting on her take, like on this whole, like the GOP debate from last night. I was waiting on her take and stuff and wanted to hear what she had to say about it. But like I said, y'all drop a comment. Let me know what y'all think about it. Thank you all for watching. I will leave the original video in the description. That way y'all go show Candace some love. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.